Do the thing that scares you or do the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable. And this simple statement was inspired yesterday when I was going out for dinner. And in this video, I'll dissect what happened for you also to become aware of all the prisons that you are creating in your life and how you can create more freedom and confidence in your life. Because I'm currently traveling all by myself. So yesterday I was also going out for dinner all by myself. And I've done this plenty of times. So I didn't feel any problems with this. So I was specifically looking for a Vietnamese place. So when I was walking up to the restaurant and I looked inside, I didn't see anybody there. And then out of nowhere, all these uncomfortable feelings started to come up. All these fears. What will they think of me? It would be weird if I sit there all by myself. Maybe they'll judge me. Maybe they think I'm this weirdo that doesn't have any friends. All these thoughts were present. And then my mind went into, well, it is a weekday. You're here early, low season. So maybe that's why no one is there. Maybe the food just sucked. That's a possibility too. But the reviews looked good. The place looked beautiful. So when I was aware of all these things that were going on inside of me, I made the decision to go inside anyway because I wanted my Vietnamese food. And I was just geeking out on this experience that I was having because I was thinking back to the time when I went out for dinner for the first time all by myself. And maybe you've done this before as well, when you went out maybe to the cinema, lunch, dinner, whatever it is, all by yourself. How did you feel? Like I remember when I was backpacking through Peru and I went out for dinner for the first time by myself, I had also hundreds of layers of social anxiety on top of it. Like I was so scared what people thought of me. Like I even had back then stomach aches when I was eating my food because I was eating my food so fast and I was so tense and so stressed that I didn't even enjoy my meal in that moment. I wanted to get out as fast as possible. And it wasn't that when I was in Peru, that when I had my dinner all by myself, that I had this enlightened experience because I really had to calm down my nervous system afterwards when I did this for the first time. But these moments are the catalyst for freedom. And that's what I want to get into because, yes, it seems so simple as in, oh, yeah, you go out for dinner all by yourself. So what's the big deal? But like I said, this example has all the elements how we create prisons for ourselves in our lives and why we experience a lack of confidence and a lack of freedom, and also how you can create more of this. Because the only difference is the context. It doesn't matter what context we use, if we dissect it, the elements are the same. Because if we look at the core, what do you want in life? If you look at all the areas of your life, what do you want? In your health and fitness, in your career, in your relationships. And we don't have to look at the big things of what you want. What are the little things that you want? If I use my example, I wanted Vietnamese food. I'll use an example as well of a client that I had yesterday. So he has a thriving videography business, but what he wanted was to expand his clientele. And he wanted to approach businesses in person to pitch his services and to create some partnerships. But he never done this before. So he was so scared and afraid to do something like that. So this is what he wanted. And when you come face to face with the thing that you want, so I was looking at the Vietnamese place, all these thoughts came up, all the questions, all the fears. So for him, to give him his example as well, so when he was walking up to the restaurant, because it was a restaurant that he wanted to do business with, he saw that there was an event present in the restaurant. There were so many people. So immediately he thought, oh no, I can't go inside right now. Like, oh, they're busy. I don't want to be bothering them. This is weird. What if I don't know what to say? What if I say the wrong thing and I destroy my reputation and I will never get business? So all of these fears were present. So for him, he walked past the restaurant 3 or 4 times, building up the courage to walk inside. And when he walked inside and had that conversation, when he faced his fears, he had a beautiful interaction with, I believe, the manager. They are right now discussing business, doing business together. And he felt so much confidence that he approached 2 businesses afterwards as well, with similar results. And that's the beauty when you do the things that you're afraid of, when you do the things that feel uncomfortable. It's not just the result that you get, because it's not about the result. It's the freedom and confidence that you experience on the other side. That is what it's all about. Every single time you experience fear and you experience uncomfortable feelings and you lean into it, you do the thing anyway, you are building that confidence muscle. You are building up courage. You are expanding freedom, because these thoughts that I mentioned, these are the prisons. Like, I really want to highlight that point. When I wanted to walk into that Vietnamese restaurant and I felt all these thoughts and fears come up, these are my prisons that I'm stuck in. Because now all of these stories that I have about the world and what people might think of me, they are determining what I do and don't do. So how free am I really? For him, maybe he was afraid to be judged also or to destroy his reputation. All these stories of what might happen are determining what he does and what he doesn't do. So this is not freedom. And this is what you want to break out of. So this is why I believe exposure therapy is one of the best ways to create freedom in your life. But if you look at all the things that you want to be doing, because this is not only on the big scale. It's not that you, okay, let me expose myself to my fear. Let me speak in front of a stadium of 1,000 people. It's not something like that. It's in these little moments that you do consistently that accumulate and that will give you that freedom. That will give you that confidence. Because we can create freedom internally, of course. But I believe this exposure, doing the thing you're afraid of doing, that feels uncomfortable, that's where the real freedom is built, in accumulating these moments. Because let's imagine that you want to get a coffee somewhere. Do you have conversations with people that are waiting in line? Do you have the social freedom to do something like that? Because you want to stay connected with the people around you. Do you have the courage to have a conversation with a barista? Like most people don't have the social freedom to do something like that. And they say, well, oh, I don't want to do this. Like all people want connection. All people want to have that connection. Most people don't do these things because they're afraid. That's the prison. If you don't do it because you truly have no desire to talk to that person in that moment, that's completely fine. But in most cases, fear is running the show. Oh, that would be weird. What will they think of me? What if they would laugh at me? What if this? What if that? What if I make a mistake when I talk to the barista and I can never go here again? Like these are the stories that are deciding your actions. And that's not freedom. That's when you don't get to choose what you do or don't do. And this is where you want to become bigger than the stories, bigger than the fear. And that's why I mentioned in the beginning, do the thing that you're afraid of doing. Do the things that feel uncomfortable for you. So every time you feel this fear come up, you want to lean into it with all the little things in your life. So to give you an example, I used this example, I believe, in a different video about a client I had last week, and he wanted to rent out Airbnbs. And he just did not have the clarity, he didn't know where to start. So this is when I explored this topic with him and said, do you know anybody that is doing this thing that you want to be doing, that is doing this full time? And he said, yes, I know 2 people that are doing this full time. One is even doing this at a big scale, renting out Airbnbs. And then I challenged him, reach out to them for guidance, advice, mentorship, a conversation, anything for you to get started. And he said, no, I can't do this. That's weird. Like, I don't want to be bothering them. Like, who am I to ask something like this, like something like that? Immediately the prisons were highlighted. These are the prisons. Like I really want you to get how big this is, because he wasn't even considering the possibility of reaching out to them because of the prisons. So how much limitations do you have in your life that you can't even see yet? How many things don't you even consider doing because of the prisons? This is where the lack of freedom is. And you never get challenged. You never get exposed to these limiting beliefs because you can't see what you can see. We are blind to our own blind spots. He was not even considering this possibility. As in, he knew 2 people that were doing this full time, that he was in consistent conversations with. He never asked them for guidance. Isn't that insane? So I challenged him to do this. Of course, it's not like a message of like, oh, mentor me. Like, it's a more thoughtful message. And when he reached out to them, he got a response in the same day from one individual. And he said, yes, I'll mentor you. We'll do the first property together and we'll split the profits so you can see how the whole process works. Isn't that insane? Like, that's mind-blowing. You know how much time he saves in trying to figure out everything by himself. All by making one bold request. And I really want to again highlight that it's not about the results. It is about who you become in the process. Right? Like, he is building more freedom and confidence right now in his being, in his essence. And if you do these things consistently, the things that you're afraid of, the results will become a byproduct automatically of who you become. Because for him, of course, he immediately got a yes. So he will speed up his process significantly. And he changed who he was being. Because right now, I can guarantee you that when he sees a different possibility right now to make a bold request, it is in his awareness. It is not pressed to the side because he's not even considering it anymore. Like, he faced that fear right now, as in being weird or asking for too much. He faced that fear. So now it's in his awareness. So when he sees the possibility to make a bold request, he's far more likely to make it based on that experience that he had. And what do you think happens if he makes these bold requests over and over and over again to get the thing that he wants, to create the things that he wants? Like, it is not rocket science. Of course, he will make way more progress like that. He will create way more possibilities because of facing that fear in that moment, sending that message. And what is that thing for you? What are all these little things that you are afraid to do? Are you afraid to send someone a message with a bold request? Are you afraid to hire that coach, to sign up for that course? Are you afraid to approach that beautiful girl on the street and say hi? Are you afraid to strike up a conversation with a stranger? Are you afraid to set a boundary for yourself in certain situations? Are you afraid to go for your dream, to start a project, to post your first video? What is that for you? Like, even in this video right now, and that's why it's so subtle, but it shows up everywhere, because the patterns are so deep. They run so deep and they run your whole life. And that's why I believe I'm a coach, because I'm so passionate about this stuff. I love this stuff so much, because when I started to record this video, I felt fear as well. And not fear as in, oh, I'm going to record a video, but fear as in, is this place well isolated? Like, it's very early in the morning. What if I start talking and I wake up the neighbors somewhere, if it's not well isolated? What if I struggle making this video and they will think I'm weird? And all of these thoughts were present before I press record. Do I still record this video? Like, yes, I'm recording it right now. Like, it's facing these little moments consistently, because the pattern, it seems so innocent initially. Initially, it seems so innocent. But where else in my life am I doing something or not doing something because of maybe I'm bothering people? Maybe people will think something of me if I do this thing. Where am I holding back? Where am I playing it small because of the fear that I will be bothering people? And now it becomes deep. Now it becomes so deep, because this will highlight so many areas where I am limiting myself and where I'm playing it small. And this is where I believe how you do one thing is how you do everything in life. So that's why when I'm in coaching conversations, for example, and my clients say, well, I don't know what to bring into the coaching session, I tell them, bring in the most seemingly insignificant situations. Bring in everything that comes to mind. Everything. Because if I would bring into a coaching session something like this, well, I was afraid to press record on this video because I was thinking, is this place well isolated? And what will the people think of me if I start recording early in the morning and blah, 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 blah. Like, it seems so innocent. But if I start to explore, where else am I doing and showing this pattern? Where else am I not doing something because of not bothering people? How is this limiting me in my business? How is this limiting me in my relationships? And now it gets interesting, because this seemingly insignificant prison is maybe a huge prison that shows up in all areas of my life, but it has never been highlighted like this. So when clients bring these insignificant situations in the sessions, they will see how big it is, because this is just a symptom that you're experiencing. But when we go back to the roots and we see how the roots are entangled in all areas of life, like, it's insane how much freedom you can create. And this is why I'm coaching often people also for years, because the amount of freedom that you can create, the amount of confidence that you can create, it's insane. If you dissect all of these things. And this is just, do you have to do this? No, you don't. And this is how I decide to live life, because this is so much fun for me, this whole self-discovery process. Like, I love to live life like this. And also, something else that came to mind is I created a free training called the OM method. So this video is all about facing your fears, leaning into your fears, doing the thing that's uncomfortable, doing the thing you're afraid of doing. This is, I believe, at the core of personal development. If you want to create a change, do that thing. That's the only thing that you need to be doing. But we overcomplicate this personal development stuff way too much. We think we have to read these books and listen to these podcasts and do all of this research and do all the crazy routines. Like, it doesn't matter. This doesn't create a change for you. And you know this. So that's why I designed the OM method. It's such a simple training with short rapid fire videos. And this is not like any other course where you are left on your own to figure it out. You will receive a one-on-one strategy session with me to make sure that this works for you, to make sure that you can apply this in your life, to personalize this to you. So if you want to create that type of change, to lean into your fear, to face your edge and to move past it, Because the person who you become on the other side of this, it is mind-blowing, the amount of freedom and confidence you experience. So if you're interested in something like that, you can click on the link somewhere in the description below to sign up for the OM method. Because I'm looking for these type of men that really want to create an impact in this world. And this is not by consumption. You don't create an impact by thinking more and analyzing more. Yes, like I said, I geek out on this stuff when it comes to dissecting like how this is happening in my life, where else is this happening in my life. Like I love to look at life like that. And I want to move into action. So when I'm creating this clarity of where else is this happening in my life, where can I lean into my edge as fast as possible? How can I move into action as fast as possible? Because this is where the transformation is. Not in thinking your way and creating more insights and creating more awareness. The insights, if it doesn't lead to different type of actions, it is not an insight. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's just this mental masturbation that's happening for most people. So that's something that you want to keep in mind when you are going on to this self-discovery, self-development route. Are the insights leading to different type of actions? That's what you want to be looking at. If it's just insight, then what is really happening? What is really changing? This is just this pretend type of productivity. This is a completely different topic. So, let's finish there. Do the thing that you're afraid of doing. Do the thing that feels uncomfortable, because that's how you develop real confidence and freedom. And that's how all of your presents are highlighted. And like so many different topics come up. One last note as well is if you struggle to find these moments, to find these uncomfortable moments or this fear, you need to put yourself in different environments. You need to be in conversation with different type of people. Because like I said with the client examples, most of my clients, they don't even realize how much they're limiting themselves, how many prisons they've created for themselves. They don't even know, because that real estate example, the Airbnb example that I gave, he isn't even considering those possibilities in the first place. So you can't see what you can see. You're blind to your own blind spots, and you need other people and environments to highlight these blind spots for you. So if you want to create real freedom, that's when you need to seek out guidance. Like me included, I've been for 1.5 decades in personal development, for more than 8 years into coaching. I'm still blind to my own bullshit. It's part of being human. I need other people to highlight this to me. And it's no shame that you need to ask for help. Like this is, like we're in this together. You don't have to do everything by yourself. So before I go into a completely different rant about that, let's finish there.